I'm sitting next to the beautiful Hailee Steinfeld,
Hello,
who is the first female lead in the first Transformers spin-off, Bumblebee, set to release this December.
Yes.
Hailee, how does that feel to be the first female lead of a Transformers movie?
Well, when I hear it out loud like that, it's pretty insane. I feel very fortunate to have been given the opportunity to play this role of this character, Charlie Watson, in Bumblebee. She's really a special character. She's got a lot to say and unique ways of saying it, so I'm excited for people to meet her.
Can you tell us more about Charlie aside from is she more of like a tomboy?
Yeah, she's
mechanic?
definitely more of a tomboy. She really is your typical sort of misunderstood teenager, and there's this freedom that she absolutely craves and basically finds her way into that, and that's through a car. And then obviously that car turns into something other than a car, and there's this budding friendship and journey within all of that. So
she plays a mechanic, so how are you with cars in real life? How are your driving skills?
Well, I will say my brother is a mechanic and a race car driver. So I was like, how do I put this lightly? But no, that's what he does. So he was on set with me when I made this movie, and I constantly was calling him and to set to help me with lines and make sure that he could explain. And there was at one point he was like printing out definitions and graphs and outlines of cars and everything to explain to me what everything was. So he was my little cheat sheet on this movie. So
sounds like the best brother ever.
Yeah.
Do you have a love interest in this film?
That part I'm not gonna tell you. There is tons of emotion though, and love, and heartfelt everything in this movie. There are relationships, there are conflicts and inner obstacles and outer obstacles with Charlie and her friends and her family and people that she likes and stuff like that. But that part you're gonna have to wait and see.
I'm so excited because it seems like there's way more emotion in this movie than what we're used to. How is this movie stylistically different from the Transformer movies we've seen in the past?
Well, you said it perfectly just then. It has a lot of emotion. It's it's an origin story, and it's very character driven and storyline driven, and it all stems around this girl and who she is and her family and her way of finding who she is in life.
Right. When we think Transformers movies, we think huge, epic, scale, action scenes. Are we going to get that in this movie?
Absolutely, absolutely. Transformers fans will definitely get their taste of that, of what the Transformers films are known for. So there is definitely a bit of action. I was able to partake in some of it, which was exciting. And the whole shoot was really, every day you kind of never really knew what was going to happen. And filming something like this where, you want to say 90% of the film is in special effects. It's like, I can't wait to see the final product of this, because it'll be as if, I don't know the story necessarily in a way, because it's kind of like, I can't wait to see what they put in around me. I hope what I imagined was somewhat correct.
Right. Well, this movie obviously takes place in the 80s, and we weren't around then. So how were you able to connect to the era?
Well, first of all, our director, Travis Knight, he was himself a child of the 80s, so he was able to break down the specifics for us, but also just really being able to immerse myself in that era. I find it pretty fascinating myself in terms of the style and the music, so I had a great time, going back to that. But my character, Charlie, it was one of my favorite parts in developing her was, with the hair and the makeup and the wardrobe. Our vision boards basically consisted of Debbie Harry, Madonna, and just iconic women of the 80s. And I loved being able to go in the trailer every day and see them and have that be the sort of inspiration stylistically for this character.
You're obviously an incredible singer. Do you have any music in the movie?
Ooh, my lips are sealed on that. The music obviously plays a huge role in this movie, so I'm hoping, the movie's in post-production right now, so everything is kind of in its final stages of coming together. So if there's an opportunity to be involved in that sense, then absolutely, I'd love to.
So my favorite part of the trailer was at the very end when Charlie basically rickrolls Bumblebee.
Okay.
Do you know what rickrolling is?
I don't, but I was going to act like I did, but I'm glad you mentioned it because I really have no idea.
It's when you click on a link on the internet and you think it's going to be one thing, but really it's that song by Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up.
Right.
So you basically rickrolled Bumblebee.
Hey, I'm going to use that now. I like that.
Are there any Transformers that you can tease that may be in this movie that we might see?
Ooh, well, there are.
We learned that Optimus makes a little cameo in the movie.
Sure, there are a couple little cameos here and there that I think people will be really excited about. And yes, Optimus is in there. So, yeah. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Well, we are so excited. Hailee, thank you so much for stopping by. I cannot wait to watch this movie. You look amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bumblebee is set to release this December 2018.